Hey out there, legal warriors. In this video, I'm going to cover the top myths about background checks. We get that question all the time. Will this show up on my record? Will it show up on a background check? Well, my most senior attorney just told me I needed to film this video, so it's coming up next just for you. My name is Attorney Lance Fryrear. I'm a defense attorney in Lynnwood, Washington. My law firm's been defending people charged with crimes all throughout Washington State for more than 20 years, and I'm putting out these videos to help educate the public. So if you find this useful, please like and please subscribe. More people get to see it. More people get the help they need. Now I'm just going to jump right into it. This is one of our most common questions in my law firm. Again, my law firm's been open 24 years, maybe a little longer. And we get the question, Lance, will it show up on a background check? Will it show up on my record? And I finally probably have figured out how to answer that question. And here's how I typically answer it. Regarding your record, record is sort of a no-no word to me. Record to me means a recording of an event, and that sort of relates to background checks as well. So there's only one place in Washington State that maintains your official criminal history, and that's the Washington State Patrol. And they will record arrests that have fingerprints and convictions. And so if you don't have an arrest with fingerprints or you don't have a conviction, it's most likely not going to show up on your official criminal history. Again, I'm not using that word record. Okay, I can say rap sheet, which might be slang, but let's say official criminal history. So what about a background check, Lance? Will this show up on a background check? And let me tell you, this is just pretty upsetting to us attorneys when we hear this because we want to give the best answer. But it's sort of a trick question. There's really no uniform background check out there. That's just words again. So, if you're applying for a job or applying for an apartment and they tell you they're going to do a background check, what does that mean? What service are they going to use? Are they going to be going to the State Patrol and checking just for your criminal history? Or are they going to the Washington court system and typing your name in and seeing what civil lawsuit you have against you as well? Or are they going to get on the internet and say, I'm going to find a background check company and find some business that's in the business of collecting data? And as you might guess, it's pretty easy for big business to collect big data nowadays. And the best way I can explain it, and I explain it to our clients or potential clients, I explain it like this. There's a law in Washington State that says that you can get non-conviction data deleted from your official criminal history, again, only maintained by the State Patrol, by sending in a certain form at a certain time if you qualify. And you can find that on the Washington State Patrol website. So now a background check, if that goes to the company that does big data, let's imagine that I have a company. It's Devin and Lance's, legal background check company. And Devin and Lance's, we'll call it DNL. We set up this business, and because we want to make money. Now, this is just a hypothetical. I do not have this business. We set up this business to make money, and we're going to find the best ways to collect all the data we can from all the sources of courts. Anytime someone goes to court, we collect it and put it in our database. Anytime there's a result, we collect it and put it in our database. There's a parking ticket, we collect it and we put it in our database. We set up automations to do that. We get really, really good and spend a whole lot of money at collecting data about people and putting it in our database. Now what do? Well, how are we going to make money from this? Well, we better advertise it. Let's put it on the internet and say, hey, come to DNL's background check company. We'll give you a year's access really cheap. Employer, you can run as many searches as you want for our data. So what does that tell you? Well, we spent a lot of money collecting our intellectual property, this data. We're going to report anything we can find because we want to keep our customers who are trying to do these background checks happy. And are we ever going to change our data? Are we ever going to delete our data that's making us money if there's not a law that requires us to? Of course not. We're never deleting that data. So let's say that you unfortunately get charged with a crime, but the great news is we get your case dismissed. The case is dismissed. Nothing's going on your official criminal history. You have no record. That's a no word. And then I might get a call 10 years later, Lance, you said it wasn't going to be on my record, but yet it's on my background check. First of all, I never would have said it wouldn't be on your record because I'm precise with language, or any attorney, hopefully. But on that background check on DNL, we collected the data that you were in court and you were charged with that crime. We also collected the data that your case was dismissed, hopefully, and we hopefully are accurately reporting that. But it's not invisible. It's true. You were in court charged with the crime, and if your employer or the department or wherever happens to use DNL's background check company, and hopefully they're using my company because I'm advertising it, they're going to see that data. So it's never going to be invisible. It's just not. In today's internet age, if you're in court, never, ever, ever, ever is it going to be invisible unless, your background, the people doing the background check go to a company that's not doing so great, or they just look at it directly through state sources, then it could be invisible, but you can't count on it. So that's sort of the bad news. What's the good news? In the real world, in the world that I've represented, tens of thousands of people probably by now, people usually care about convictions, not the fact that you're in court. By the time someone gets to a background check for a job, they're looking to qualify you. They want to hire you, right? It's black and white. And I've seen very few situations where it's black and white if you're charged, therefore you can't have the job. It's usually if you're convicted. Now, if you're a non-citizen watching this, it's just common sense. It's not going to be invisible. The federal government has access to everything. Again, for the most part, you need to talk to an immigration attorney. For the most part, dismissed case is going to be far less damaging than an open case or a conviction. So what do you need to know about background checks? There is no uniform background check. No one can tell you what's going to be on your background check because it doesn't even mean anything. If you want to find out what's on the most popular company's background check for your case, pay them, right? See what it costs to run yourself and see what comes back. If you want to find out what's on your official criminal history, you can pay for that directly to the State Patrol and get that within seconds of watching this video. Just search Washington State Patrol and the word watch, Washington Access to Criminal History. You'll come up with a way to do it. You give them a credit card, probably $20 to $30 nowadays. It keeps going up, and boom, instantaneous result. You can search anyone. You can search me, and I hope I'm not in there. So, this is what I want to tell you about background checks. I want you to just be calm, that it's not invisible. Nothing is, but if we can avoid a conviction, we can probably avoid the negative consequences. Finally, what about non-crimes? Yeah, other things will show up on there too. You have a protection order against you, it's a civil suit. It's going to show up in there. You got a bankruptcy, it's going to show up. You got a divorce, it's going to show up, right? You sued someone for injuring you, this lawsuit, it's going to show up. Don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid of what's showing up on your background check. We want to try to, live as clean a life as we can. We want to try to avoid convictions. But, if we're worried about something, if we lead with a negative, if we don't hide things, it's usually much less of a negative. So what's the long and short of this? Let's not use the word record. Let's not use the word background check. Let's think about, hey, what might show up if someone looks to see when I've been in court? And if there's a negative result, if someone's denying you something because of a background check, ask them. Ask them what they used for the service to come up with that information. Ask for a copy of it. One time in my career, I've seen someone get denied an apartment. I told this person, hey, ask for the record that shows why you were denied. They got the record and it was in error. The record collected. Now, DNL's company, we're not making errors, but this other company made an error, right? And so we were able to, write a letter to that potential landlord, and guess who got an apartment, right? So it's not helpless. We don't want to be helpless. It's not hopeless. We just need to keep it in perspective and don't panic. So I hope you found this useful. So please like and please subscribe. More people get to see it. More people will be less confused. More importantly, if you have a criminal matter, I'm no background check expert, but if you have a criminal matter in Washington State, feel free to reach out to my firm. If we get on board, we'll listen to what happened, we'll identify a way forward, and we will be there for you. Thank you.